What up, beautiful people? Oh my gosh. So, I have to tell you all about some of the cutest things that my kids say. My students, not all of them are kids. This is not, are you smarter than a fifth grader? This is just me teaching high school and adults. But they're like kids because their language level is that of a kid in English, if that makes sense. Like, my language level in Vietnamese is like a baby. It's probably worse than a baby, but I'll be gracious to myself and say a baby. Anyway, so between yesterday and today, I had the cutest thing said to me. Earlier today, I was teaching a class, and the class I was teaching is my more advanced high school class. And our topic today, we were discussing things that were of high value and things that are priceless. And so, in the category of high value things, one of the girls in the class said, "Oh, like Gucci and Louis." And I was like, "Yes, very good." And then she said, like, Mercker. And I was like, I've never heard of that brand before in my life. Like, what? And I had one of the other students writing it on the board. So I didn't even think to look at the board to see how he spelled it. I was too busy thinking, Mercker. How have I never heard of this brand before? Like, Mercker. Okay. And then the person next to her was like, yeah, like Leasu. And I was like, Leasu? What is that? What? Wait. Hold on. Hold the phone. What are you guys talking about? Because now I'm completely confused. They are all in the know, and I am totally confused. I've never heard of these brands. And I'm like, what do they do? They're like, oh, they're cars. Like Toyota. First off, Toyota is not a luxury car. Secondly, I don't know what you're talking about. So I asked her to spell it for me. Mercker is Mercedes. So Mercker makes sense. They just dropped the D, which to me, now that I've lived here for so long, also makes sense. So Vietnamese, how it's spoken and how people, just how they speak Vietnamese. The final sound is very short and very quick, which to me as a foreigner, honestly, I don't really hear it. Which is also why when they are learning English, they drop the end of the word. They hear it. They just say it's very quick. I don't hear it. I've never heard it, but that's okay. To me, it sounds like they just drop it. So instead of saying like Mercedes, they'll just say Mercker. And then like other words, like instead of saying book, they'll say, or instead of saying books, they'll say book, or I lie. And I don't know if you're lying to me, if you like something, if this is like your life. I have no idea. All of those words start with L-I and then have a different ending. And there's a consonant after the vowel, and so they just drop the consonant. And I'm like, so it's been very interesting teaching English because now I know this, but I was super confused because Mercker, maybe it's like the shortened maybe it's like the shortened version of Mercedes, like how we shorten it to like a Benz. Yeah, nope, can't even, I don't know. But I thought it was really funny. It was like, not funny, it was super cute. And then Leasu is Lexus. And I was like, oh, that's why you mentioned Toyota. Got you. So there was that. And I just thought it was so cute because Mercker does make sense to me because like C and E together make an S sound. But if you don't put the syllable in the right place, it could be Mercker. Makes sense. And in English, as you guys will see from the other two adorable things people have said to me, English, it depends on which syllable we emphasize. So that to me is very interesting. And then later in the class, we were talking about things that are priceless. And we had several things on the board, and one girl in the back of the class was like, a signature. And at first I was like, what? Now, my students either think I am crazy, because that's kind of rude. Like, what are you saying? That's just bananas. Or I hope I don't come across that way. But I also let them know, like, yo, you guys, I listened and occasionally still listen to music really loud, so you gotta speak up, right? It's one of those two things. Anyway, in this case, I just I couldn't hear her. And I was slightly confused. So it was a bit of both. I don't know what you're saying, and I can't hear you. And so, again, I quieted the class, and she was like, a signature. I'm like, what is that, a signature? And she was like, you know, when you meet someone famous, they give you a signature. And I was like, a signature. Dude, best ever. And she was like, yeah, a signature. No, a signature. I've never heard of a signature in my life, but a signature, yes. But as someone wrote it down, it makes complete sense. Again, signature, signature. Like, it makes sense when you spell it out. They just put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Literally, it's adorable. There's that one. And then the last one, yesterday, I had this student that is precious. Love her. She's so wonderful. She's in her 40s, and she is looking at moving. She's trying to move to America to take care of her parents. And so she's so precious. And she works really, really hard, and I'm so proud of her. And I really enjoy the conversations that we have. And I think, like, my favorite thing about her is she's always like, no matter. Like, she's super chill. And how she says it is so adorable. But she's like, no matter. No matter. Right? Like, don't even worry. Not that important. Adorable. So then, anyway, yesterday, we were talking. And she's like, you canoe? No, I don't eat cannolis. What? Because that does not fit in our conversation. What are you talking about? And she was like, canoe, you canoe. I know. Okay, no, not canoe, because canoe, no one says canoe unless you're like 2. Even then, I don't know if 2-year-olds say that. But no also sounds like no. So the two sound the same. I know and no thank you sound the same. And it was so cute because it makes sense to me. It totally makes sense to me. But I think it's so cute to me. And tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment below and tell me if you're like, oh my gosh, that's so, like, that's commendable, or it's so precious, like, that's so adorable. Or if you're like, seriously though, get it together. Because I think it's so cute and it's so commendable, because most people in Asia, and especially in Southeast Asia, have not actually been exposed to the English language in a big way. So they might go to a center and learn, but that's for a small period of time. Or they might watch TV and movies, so on and so forth. But then when they study and they're learning to read and write, to match up how words are spoken and how words are said is so different in English. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes you get some really crazy words by putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. You know what I'm saying? So I commend them because they still try, they still speak, and they practice and they improve and they make it happen. And I'm like, get it, I'm proud of you. But that's also super adorable, and I'm not gonna forget. That's all. That's, Anyway, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and that's all I have. I'll see you guys later.